Have you ever opened your eyes in the middle of the night, somewhere between 3 and 5 in the morning, when the rest of the world is still asleep, and wondered why you're awake? You check the time, adjust your blanket, maybe turn over, and try to go back to sleep. But something in you feels stirred, as if a quiet voice is calling out to your soul. It's not just random. That stirring you feel isn't an accident. It's a sacred moment, a holy invitation. Pope Francis once shared a profound spiritual insight that when you find yourself waking during these hours, it's not merely due to restlessness or stress. It could be a divine nudge, a gentle whisper from God Himself, inviting you into the silence to spend a moment in prayer, a sacred connection between heaven and your soul. Between 3 and 5 a.m. is often referred to as the hour of mercy or the hour of the Spirit. In many spiritual traditions, this time is considered the holiest part of the night. The noise of the world has faded. The distractions are gone. It is in this quiet that God leans in, waiting for your heart to notice His presence. The angels are near, watching over you, and the veil between heaven and earth feels thinner. God is calling you by name, not to alarm you, not to disturb your rest, but to bring you closer to Him, to fill your heart with peace, clarity, healing, and strength. Pope Francis reminds us that during these sacred hours, your soul is more open, your heart is more receptive, and heaven is listening more closely than you can imagine. So, what should you do when you wake up in these early hours? You pray, not out of fear, not out of obligation, but from a place of trust and surrender. You lift your heart, your worries, your dreams, your pain, and your praise up to the One who has been waiting for you in the silence. And when you do, pray like this: Heavenly Father, I come before you in this holy hour. You have awakened me for a reason. You have stirred my heart in the silence of the night, and I know you are here. I lift up my soul to you, vulnerable and real. I lay before you everything I am carrying, all my worries, my doubts, my confusion, and my fear. Lord, I surrender. I give you the burdens I've been holding on to for too long. I give you the people I'm worried about. I give you the questions I don't have answers to, and I trust you with it all. Wrap me now in your mercy. Let your love cover me like a blanket. Whisper peace to my anxious mind. Calm the storms inside my heart. You are my refuge. You are my strength. You are the God who sees me when no one else does. You are the one who wakes me when my soul needs healing. Forgive me for the times I've doubted your presence. Forgive me for holding back my trust. Forgive me for the moments I've tried to fix everything on my own. Tonight, I let go. I rest in you. You may not realize it, but that kind of prayer is powerful. In the quiet hours of the morning, when the world is still and your heart is open, your prayer carries great weight. It echoes through the heavens. The angels take your words and lift them up to the throne of God. And something begins to shift, not just around you, but within you. The fear starts to fade. The anxiety begins to lift. the weight pressing on your chest feels lighter. You begin to feel peace settling into your soul, like a soft rain falling on dry ground. If you wake up during these hours, it's easy to reach for your phone, to distract yourself, to turn on the TV or scroll through messages. But Pope Francis encourages us to pause, to be still, and to recognize the gift of the moment. It is not a burden. It is a blessing. It is not a disruption. It is a divine appointment. Imagine Jesus standing beside your bed, gently whispering, "Wake up, my child. I have something to tell you. I want to sit with you in this quiet hour. I want to comfort you. I want to pour my peace into the places that still feel broken." Prayer during these hours isn't about fancy words or perfect phrases. It's about being real. It's about opening your heart, just as it is, and saying, "Here I am, Lord." Maybe you're grieving. Maybe you're confused. Maybe you feel like no one truly understands what you're going through. But God does. And when you meet Him in prayer during the early morning hours, you enter a sacred space where healing begins. Maybe you've been carrying pain for years, hiding it behind a smile. Maybe you've been waiting for an answer, feeling like heaven is silent. But those moments when you're awake between 3 and 5, they're not silence. They're an invitation, a call, a reminder that heaven is still watching, still listening, still loving you. In those hours, say, "Lord, I believe you are near, even when I don't see it, even when I don't feel it. I believe you are working behind the scenes of my life. I believe you are fighting battles I don't even know exist. I believe you are protecting me in ways I may never understand. So I thank you. I praise you. I surrender to you again. I give you my plans. I give you my past. I give you my future. Let your will be done in my life. And if I need to wait, give me patience. If I need to change, give me strength. If I need to forgive, give me grace." These prayers might seem small in the moment, but in the spiritual realm, they open doors. They release chains. They move mountains. They invite the power of God to touch every part of your life. And what's even more beautiful is that you don't have to understand everything to pray. You don't have to have the perfect words. God looks at the heart. He listens to the tears you can't explain. He hears the sighs, the whispers, the silence. And He responds, not always in ways we expect, but always in ways that are good. You are not waking by accident. You are being called by God. There is something undeniably sacred about the hours between 3 and 5 in the morning. A holy hush falls over the world during this time. The earth seems to hold its breath. No traffic, no noise, no interruptions. Just stillness, just silence, just you and the whisper of the divine. It is in these quiet hours, when most of the world is asleep, that the veil between heaven and earth feels thinner. The distractions fade. The responsibilities and noise of the day are distant memories. It is here, in the shadows of the night, that God draws especially near, not necessarily in sound or speech, but in spirit in presence, in a sacred closeness that stirs the soul. If you have ever found yourself waking up during these hours without understanding why, heart pounding, mind restless, eyes wide open, it may be that your soul has been summoned, not by chance, not by stress, but by the voice of the one who formed you. The Lord calls in the quiet, not to frighten, but to awaken, not to overwhelm, but to invite, not to burden, but to bless. There are moments in the middle of the night when your heart aches in a way that even you cannot explain. There's a longing, a pull, a stirring deep within your chest. It is during these moments that you are being invited into divine communion. God is not far away. He is right there, closer than your breath, nearer than your thoughts. His presence is not loud or demanding. It is gentle, loving, patient, waiting for you to respond. And when you do, when you whisper that prayer, when you stretch out your hand toward Him, when you speak to Him with the rawness of your truth and the tenderness of your trust, something changes. The air shifts. The burden lightens. Your spirit, once weighed down by worry, begins to rise. You begin to feel it, His nearness, His comfort, His assurance. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine it, the soft glow of early dawn just beginning to touch the sky. The hush of angels surrounding your room, stationed like sentinels over your home. Their wings draped in peace, their eyes fixed on you with fierce protection and deep compassion. You are not alone in your prayer. You are not alone in your pain. Heaven has taken notice. Every word you speak, every tear you shed, every silent cry from your heart, it matters. It reaches the throne of God. This is not a dream or a poetic hope. It is real. It is eternal. God meets you right where you are, in the silence, in the ache, in the unseen corners of your soul. So many believe that waking up in the night is a problem to be solved, a medical issue, a trick of the body or mind. But could it be more than that? Could it be an invitation? What if those restless moments are actually a sacred appointment, a divine rendezvous? God does not wake you to punish you. He awakens you to love you, to speak with you in the solitude where your heart is most open. If you've been waking night after night and wondering why, it's time to reframe those hours not as interruptions, but as invitations. It's time to answer the call, to rise from your bed not in frustration, but in reverence, to whisper, "Yes, Lord, I'm here to bring your weariness, your fears, your longings, and lay them at His feet in prayer." And as you do, know this: you are not alone. You are part of something holy and hidden. All across the globe, souls are waking at the very same hour, drawn not by alarm clocks, but by the Spirit. Hearts opening, hands lifted, tears falling, whispers rising like incense into the skies. You are part of a vast, unseen choir lifting prayers into the heavens. You may never meet them. You may never hear their voices, but your souls are joined in harmony, pleading, praising, surrendering. And heaven listens. Angels gather. Miracles are set into motion. Chains are broken in the silence. Hope is reborn in the stillness. There is something deeply powerful about this divine communion that happens when no one is watching, when no one sees the tears, hears the cries, or applauds the faith. Pope Francis once said that we must not waste these sacred opportunities. In the stillness of the night, God does what we could never do on our own. He heals relationships long fractured by pain and pride. He brings clarity where confusion reigned. He gives direction when we are lost. He breaks addictions that held us captive for years. He restores what the enemy tried to steal. He gives beauty for ashes, joy for mourning, peace for despair. And it happens not in loud places, but in the quiet, in the early hours, in the hidden, private moments when our hearts are raw and real. But we must come. We must open the door. We must enter in like children running into the arms of their Father, unafraid to be seen in our weakness. And once you taste the sweetness of His presence during these hours, you will never be the same. You will no longer dread waking up. You will no longer fear the darkness, because you will understand that in the very hours that seem the loneliest, you are closest to heaven. Your room becomes a sanctuary. Your tears become sacred prayers. Your sighs become songs in the ears of angels. You will begin to long for these hours, not because of what they interrupt, but because of what they awaken. They awaken you. They awaken your soul. They awaken your intimacy with God. So the next time you find yourself staring at the ceiling at 3:17 a.m., do not groan. Do not despair. Do not scroll through your phone or reach for distractions. Instead, be still. Close your eyes. Put your hand over your heart. Whisper His name, Jesus, and let your soul speak. Tell Him everything, your fears, your dreams, your doubts, your grief, your gratitude. There is no need for eloquence, no need for perfection. He is not looking for polished prayers. He is longing for your presence. And in that divine exchange, something will shift. You will feel His response, not always in words, but in the quiet peace that suddenly fills the room, in the courage that rises unexpectedly, in the clarity that clears your confusion, in the strength that steadies your shaking hands, in the joy that bubbles up out of nowhere. That is His voice. That is His nearness. That is heaven touching earth. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You have been called, chosen, summoned for a purpose. And the God who called you in the middle of the night is the same God who will carry you through the storms of your day. He is faithful. He is kind. He is attentive. He is near to the brokenhearted and close to those who call on Him in truth. So tonight, or tomorrow night, or the night after that, when you wake up in the sacred stillness, remember this: it is not an accident. It is a divine invitation. Heaven is waiting. Angels are listening. The throne room is open. You are being called, not to suffer, not to fear, but to pray, to draw near to the One who has never left your side. And when you come, when you pour out your soul, something holy happens. The darkness loses its grip. The silence becomes sacred, and you come alive in the presence of your Creator. So rise, beloved. Rise in the quiet. Rise in the ache. Rise in the mystery, and meet your God in the stillness between 3 and 5 a.m. For in those holy hours, you are never more seen. You are never more loved. You are never more heard. And heaven is listening, always. Amen.